Welcome to this explainer. Doing the right thing for your family and doing the right thing in the eyes of the law, well, they're often two completely different things. Today, we're diving into the landmark case of Ritan So Sim, where good intentions literally meet the strict rules of contract law. Let's get right into it. So, our story starts with a pretty heartbreaking situation. Tan So Sim was seriously ill. She was confined to her bed and, tragically, just way too weak to formalize a valid will before passing away. The clock was ticking, and she was entirely unable to get her final wishes down on paper. Now, to honor her wishes, her siblings stepped up in a huge way. Since there was no will, they voluntarily signed a document giving up their own rights to her property. They decided to pass those rights directly over to Tan So Sim's adopted children. Honestly, it was a peaceful, respectful choice, a real moment of family harmony during an incredibly tough time. But, and there's always a but in law, right? A legal dispute ended up arising over this exact agreement. It begs the ultimate question. Does a family's good intention, born out of grief and respect, actually create a legally binding contract? Just like that, we move from the quiet intimacy of a family living room straight into the cold, hard reality of the courtroom. To figure this out, the court had to look at Section 26A of the contract law. This specific section governs contracts that are made out of natural love and affection. Now, the judge made it absolutely clear that simply writing that phrase down isn't some sort of legal magic spell. For a contract to be valid under this section without standard consideration, the law demands actual, genuine emotional closeness between the specific parties involved. So here is where the disconnect happened. On paper, sure, the siblings wrote down those exact words, but in legal reality, the court found that the specific relationship between the siblings and the adopted children actually lacked the required emotional closeness under these strict, rigid definitions of the statute. The words were on the page, but the legally recognized bond just wasn't. Because those strict legal requirements simply weren't fulfilled, the judge had to declare the family's document entirely invalid. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it leaves us with one absolutely crucial rule of law to remember. Natural love and affection alone does not create a valid contract. It really makes you wonder, if the legal system has to rigorously measure human emotion like this, are good intentions ever really enough without a lawyer?